Good morning, y'all. I am so frustrated. I was 16 minutes into this video when, for some reason, it just quit. I don't know what happened. I was so organized too. I had everything in these nice little stacks, and well, it just went to hell in a handbasket. Sorry, y'all. But I'm still going to show you everything I wanted to show before. It's just not going to be in any kind of order. So, sorry if you like orderly. It isn't happening today. Um, Let me start off by telling you all thank you for your prayers. Terry is doing okay, my brother. I went to see him yesterday. It's about an hour and a half's drive there. So I'm trying to go at least once a week and spend the day with him. Yesterday, my sister and her husband and Aunt Joyce were all there. They came down for a few days, and so I told them I'd come over and spend the day. When Sherry told Terry that I was coming, his first question was, "Is she bringing peach cobbler?" I made him a peach cobbler the last day he was in the hospital and took it to him. He doesn't really remember anything but the last 3 days he was in the hospital, and he's kind of vague about those. And he was there 51 days, so he's lost all that time, but he remembers that peach cobbler. And then 2 weeks ago, when I went back to see him again, I took him another peach cobbler because he loved it and he wanted another one. And this time he asked for it again. I made a double batch this time because there were quite a few people there. When I got ready to leave, I told him goodbye, and I told him I'll be back next Monday and we'll go eat lunch. He loves the Chinese place there, and so I said, we'll go eat there. And he said, are you bringing me a peach cobbler? And I said, do you want one? And he said, well, I'm pretty sure I'll be through with this one by then. I'm pretty sure he'll be through with that one by today. He's pretty funny. My sister Sherry and Brenda, who he's staying with right now, appear to be bossing him around a little more than he likes, because he asked them the other day, and which one of y'all are my mother? Okay. He's a handful sometimes, y'all. I saw something on Facebook this week that I don't want to forget to tell you, especially you young working moms. It was a Facebook page called 5 Meals in 1 Hour. Yes, I think that's right. But they were prepping for 5 meals and doing that prep in less than an hour. And they were crock pot meals or casseroles that you could put together and put them in your fridge and cook when you got home. So, y'all, I liked it. I watched a couple of the different videos and tried a couple of the recipes that they were doing. And so I thought it worked really well. When I was much younger and had children at home and was working, I used to do that one weekend a month, and they were freezer meals. And I would work all day one Saturday and put meals together and put them in the freezer. And so they were just labeled. I'd get them out the night before and put them in the crock pot the next morning, or get them out that morning so they could thaw and like a meatloaf and put it in the oven when I got home, and it worked great. I loved doing it. My kids helped me. So you all might want to check out that page. I thought it was pretty cool. Someone asked me about my CD player back here. I listen to audiobooks in the sewing room. I listen to them in the car. I don't mind having multiple books going at one time. I frequently have one in here, one in the car. I'll be reading one on my Kindle, and I might even be reading a different one on my iPad. I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me to have a whole lot of books going. Next, I remember when. Let me find it. Y'all know I usually do an I remember when segment, and this time I'm gonna challenge you all to do this too, because I brought you a picture, a baby picture. This is my older brother Fred. Fred is 77 now. He's 5.5 years older than me. I'm 71. I'll be 72 October 1st. Fred was born, then Dad went to World War II and was gone. for 4 or 5 years and came back, and immediately I was born. And this is me. I don't know how old I was here. 8 or 9 months, maybe? Does that look like maybe 8 or 9 months, y'all? Anyway, I just thought, I keep hearing so many terrible things, seeing things on Facebook, fires and tragedies, and let's do something positive and upbeat. So let's look at baby pictures. You want to? Let's do. Show me your baby picture. I also have some gifts that I want to tell you about. I still have a couple from StitchCon that I haven't shared with you. This is my strawberry that Johnny made for me, and y'all have seen these on other videos. She made a whole bunch of these, and they were thank you gifts for people who make floss tubes, and I love this strawberry. She told me where she got the tutorial, and I printed it off, and I'm going to try making some of these this week. Not today, because my sewing machine's in the shop. I broke the needle threader, plus I hadn't had it serviced in a couple of years, so it was just time. I'm hoping it'll be ready this afternoon. And then Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher, stitched this ornament for me. Isn't that adorable? But the sweetest part of this was the compliment she paid me when she said this all is calm reminded her of me. Mostly I am calm, except when I'm not. I'm like the little girl with the curl in the middle of her forehead. When she's bad, she's very, very bad. Ask my husband. I can be bad. Not often. I don't do it very often, y'all. Gisela, I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. She's from Omaha and goes to Julie McConnell's shop and knows Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail. Stitched this prayer square for me and sent it to me because she knew I'd been very emotional and sad, had some things going on, and so she stitched this. And I know I'm not supposed to use things before I show them, but I do. I've had this one by my prayer chair. I call it my prayer chair. It's just a chair in my bedroom where I sit in the mornings and do my study and send out my text messages and for the morning. And so I've had this with me, Gisela, for my prayer time. So thank you very much. And then at Midwest Stitchers Retreat, Michelle had these bags that she gave. Some of the giveaways were in these, and I loved them. No, that's not the one. Oh, Michelle, I've put it down somewhere. Anyway, Michelle sent me 10 bags like this, okay? Because I asked about them and because I love them. And yes, I make bags. I love my fabric bags that I make, but I also love these that I can see through. So thank you very much, Michelle, because they are exactly what I needed and wanted. Okay, once again, I'm going to try to go through this stuff that I've already shown on a video. I'm going to talk about I've done a lot of FFOing. Got several things framed, thanks to Kitten Stitcher Teresa for her tutorial on that. I've gotten a couple of ornaments made, thanks to Vanna Pfeiffer for her tutorial on that. So I'm going to show you all those. I have a couple of whips to show you. I have something I'm going to share. Yes, I'm going to be giving something away. I tried to think of a way to say that without using the words, but I couldn't. So I have something I'm going to give away a little bit later. I have some saved stitches, rescued stitches that I'd like for you to see. And I'm going to talk a little bit about cross-stitch retreats, just sort of in general, and mainly as it pertains to me. And then I've made some bags. Y'all, I was able to be in the sewing room several days this last week, and it was wonderful to be able to stay at home for several days and do some sewing. So I have some bags I want to sell. I'll show those at the very end, so if you're not interested, you don't need to go that far, okay? So let me just start off by telling you about an FO. This is from Pineberry Lane, and it's called I Bring Thee Joy. Very pretty. It called for tin roof. I did not use tin roof. I don't know what I used. It's blue. And I think it's a 32 count. I have it written down somewhere, but I didn't bring that in here with me. I thought I did, and it's disappeared under all this mess. But it turned out really, really pretty. I don't know how I'm going to finish this one. Certainly open to suggestions for this. I love it. I love the color combination, the grays and the muted browns there with this color fabric. I just think it's fabulous. It's not, the white part of the trees is not as easy to see because it's not very light in here, but they show up real well in person. So anyway, let's see what's next. Excuse me. I've actually talked a lot, even though y'all don't know it. An FFO. I showed you this last time. This is from Teresa, Kitten Stitcher, the pattern is, and because Nicole stitched hers and finished it, it was so, so cute. I just felt like I had to do it, so I did. It's not real full because I didn't want it to be real full. I wanted it to be a little bit more primitive than that. I did a very small cord. I think I only used 6 threads, the one strand, to make this because I didn't want it to be fat. I found an old rusty key in my stash and I stitched it on with just a few threads up there and made a little tassel. I watched Vanna to see how to do that. So cute. Not quite as cute as Nicole's, I don't think, but really cute, just the same. I also finished, this is from Punch Needle and Primitive Stitching Magazine, Deer Ornament. Nikki's Creations is the designer. I did not stitch this whole thing. I left off the trees because I wanted it to fit onto this. I found this at my LNS. It's called Finishing Forms, and it was 2 round metal circles that go together. I didn't understand all of the directions. Sometimes I don't quite get what they're saying, but I covered the back part of this with my backing fabric, and then I covered the front part, they're 2 pieces of metal. I used just a lightweight flannel behind my stitched piece and put a little glue on the insides and pulled those tight in there. And then I stitched the 2 front and back together all the way around. Added the little rope cording. And I just think it's adorable. This is a piece that I stitched that I'm going to be giving to someone else. I also showed y'all in my last video a piece I had stitched for my mother many, many years ago, back in the late 70s or early 80s. And I took it out of the frame, and I was a little worried about taking that masking tape off. It did great, but it was discolored, and so I cut it down and made it into a little pin pillow. This is a butterfly marking pin, counting pin, that I put in there, but it seemed to work really well, and I love that. I'm going to keep that one in my bedroom, I think, just to remind me of Mom. Not that I need any reminders, because I still think about her every day. Oh, there's my little pic. This is the bag that Michelle sent me, right here. I knew it was around here somewhere. It just got hidden. Has this front pocket so you can see your pattern. Has a top zipper, everything, threads and all fit all down in there. It's wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. I don't know what I had in that other bag. This one is another one y'all have seen, and it's called Happy You. It's a shepherd's bush pattern that you got free when you bought the Jabco button. And I just added a little mini pom-pom trim and a light blue fabric down here. And I think it turned out really sweet. Really sweet. That's another one that I think is going to be a gift. This is from Prairie Schooler, Barnyard Christmas, and that's the pig. The first time I saw this, Yvonne had stitched it, Night Owl Stitcher, and I just loved it. So thanks to Vanna, I was able to finish this on a flat fold. It's not really fold, but anyway, I used her tag ornament video to make this. I just didn't make the tag part of it. It's got this fabric on the back. And Vanna, sorry honey, but I couldn't figure out how to get that cording down in there. And so I just let it come out the back because I thought, who's going to see that anyway? It'll either be hanging on my tree or on a little easel or something. I didn't care. And I wrapped the cording around the bow. And I thought that was kind of cute. I thought it added to it. I like him too. Did some framing thanks to tutorials. If I didn't say that already, Kitten Stitcher and Vanna has done some too, so I've watched all of theirs. I did not stitch this piece, y'all. This was a gift from my friend Linda. I framed it myself, laced it, found the frame at Hobby Lobby on their 50% off group of open frames back in the back, you know. And I even put paper on the back. I don't have a hanger on it yet because I keep forgetting to go buy some. Isn't it stunning? It's just stunning. Her stitching is beautiful. This is going to be with a group of things I hang over my bed. I'm totally in love with this one. I'm overwhelmed sometimes by the generosity of other stitchers because that's a lot of stitching. A lot. And I treasure particularly pieces that other stitchers have stitched, maybe even more than my own, because I know what a generous gift it is and what heart it takes to be able to give those things away. That's a gift. That's a God-given gift, to be able to make things and give them away, because it's hard. It's hard to give them away. I don't have my card with me, so I'm thinking this is Blackbird Designs. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I can go look it up, but I'm not going to do it right now. I went to Goodwill last week and I bought 7 frames for under $10, like $9.75. This is one of the frames that I bought. I take the glass out for sure, and I usually I have to cut things to fit in here to help me do the framing, but because the cardboard pieces aren't any good. But the frames themselves are nice, the ones that I find. I don't remember how much this one was, but I think it was one of the ones that was $1.21. I particularly was looking for this piece for something that didn't leave a lot of the background fabric showing. I wanted it to be right up to, and this one worked beautifully to get it right up to the stitching. This is going to be another one that goes up over my bed in that grouping. Some of them will be things I've stitched, but not always, because I have some really pretty things that other people have stitched that when I've saved the stitches. This one I stitched a long time ago. Y'all have seen it before. It's another one of the frames from Goodwill. This one was 99 cents. And it's a photo frame, so it was a little bit more difficult to frame because there's not a lot of space. My computer keeps doing crazy things. Um, if it cuts off this time, I think I'm going to cry. Anyway, 99-cent frame. Worked great in here. I don't remember. A couple of these I pinned. A couple of them I laced. I don't remember which ones are which right now. This one is a punch needle piece. And this is the pattern. I loved the piece. I didn't care for that light frame. I wanted a darker frame. And didn't it turn out beautifully in here? I'm really pleased with this. First of all, this is a frame that I got at Goodwill. I put it on this red wool that came with the kit. But then I found this frame that had this light green, not light, medium green, but it blends really well with the background of this one and just really sets it off. I think it's perfect. It already had a photo hanger on it, so it's going to be going on the wall. You remember last time I showed you a couple of things that I got off the free table at StitchCon. One was this piece. Now, I think it probably wasn't quite finished. It needed some back stitching, but I didn't do that because I thought it worked really well for what I wanted to do. This says, off I-64 near Charlottesville, Virginia, was stitched in December of '82. Doesn't have any initials or anything like that on it. But I made it into a little pillow with some rickrack trim, and it just turned out very, very pretty. A great piece. The other one of those I framed. This frame was from Goodwill. It was $1.31. It too is a photo frame. So it takes a little bit more effort to do these, to use photo frames because of the spacing in there. This says Smithfield Plantation. But it turned out great. It's a good frame for this one. Just the right width, I think. Good color. Worked great for me. And then I found at Goodwill that day this. This was $1.21. Let's see if I can get closer here. I don't think I'll leave it in this frame because I'm not crazy about the frame. But I loved the piece. Loved it. And my sister found this one for me at a flea market. Look at this little bunny. Isn't he cute? Be great with my Easter decorations. She found it in, I think in Columbia, Missouri. And it says Creative Cross Stitch, Nancy something Green, Greckney, Sarasota, Misty Johannigan, Orlando. I don't know if that's Stitcher in the framer, I don't know. But he's cute. He's cute. It's on 14 count Aida, I believe. Maybe 18 count Aida. Okay. If I didn't tell you before, I think I did. May have told you in the first video. I don't know. I have some things I'm going to share. Remember last time I had made some bags with the quilted Pioneer Woman placemats. Well, I had bought some that were not quilted to try. These are smaller bags and they're a heavier fabric, so the seams are a little bit thicker, a little bit more bulky. These are not bags that I wanted to sell. They're not as big as I normally make, but they're a great size for small patterns and they're good and sturdy. And I have 3 of these. I have this one with the purple lace, and I have this one with the flower border. And I am going to give these away. So to just, if you make a comment below, I'm going to draw names in a couple of weeks, and yes, I will send them out of the country, but no choice on them, just random. I'm just going to give them away. So if you want one, make a comment below. I have a couple of whips to show you. I've been working on, I kind of have switched this last couple of months, and I'm trying to pick up a whip and stitch until it's done. And that's why I had a couple of things finished here. This is the one I'm working on right now. This is Kathy Barrick, and it's In Heaven and Nature Sing. And I'm excited about how much I've gotten done on this one since the last time I showed it to y'all. I have finished all the legs and the head, part of the horns, and most of those little trees up there in the right. So I feel like I've made a lot of progress. I've got some flowers to do below that little mailbox and the stand for the mailbox. And then there are, and the horns, and there's some more flowers and maybe a couple of trees over on the other side, this empty side. So it may take me another 2 or 3 weeks to do that. It depends on how much time I get to stitch. Yesterday I started a new punch needle. This is a little house when I showed you this pattern last time that I had bought in Gatlinburg at the pattern hutch. And I just barely started this last night, so you can't tell hardly anything. I'm going to show you from this side. This is what the pattern looks like. So I started on the flag and just got one red stripe and part of a white one and a star. That's it. That's all I've done on that one. But that's a great, I love punch needle for times when I'm tired and I don't feel like I can count accurately. And when I get tired, I have cataracts that I haven't gotten taken care of yet. That's coming probably in the fall. But when I get tired, my eyes, I have a more difficult time seeing. And so punch needle is something I can work on, and it works really well for me. I don't have any purchases to show you. Yay me, what a change that is. I'm trying to get a little bit more control in my life. Before I show you the bags that I'm going to sell, I want to tell you a little bit about my thoughts about retreats. First of all, I love cross-stitch retreats. I have been to 3, loved every one of them. They were all different, and I can't wait to do that again. I will, in fact, be going in October back to Midwest Stitchers, and then for a couple of days in November to Gatlinburg to one of Katrina Boyd's retreats. Those are things that I had signed up for several months ago. I don't know, 6 months ago maybe. So I am going to go to those. But after that, I have not signed up for Arizona, and I have not signed up for StitchCon for next year. And I hate it, y'all. I hate it. I'm hoping that as time gets closer and I see that I might be able to go, that there will be a place on the wait list. But for right now, I need to let my family obligations take precedent. I think I mentioned that to y'all last time, but I just want to say it again, because for those of you who aren't able to go to retreats right now and want to, they are wonderful, but there is a time and a place for everything. There is a season for everything, and the Bible tells us that in Ecclesiastes and says it very well, much better than I could. But your time will come. Your time will come. So I'm hoping for you that your time will come and you can go. But those are my plans for retreats for right now. I am going to be able to get together with a few of my Flosstube friends the first weekend in September here in Arkansas. I'm excited about that. I can hardly stand it. Can't wait. So that's about it for me. I have bags to sell that I'm going to show you right now. Just one second. Sorry for the awkwardness, y'all, but this is a big stack and it's heavy. I've got 17 of them. I'm going to put my email address below in the little box down there so you can email me if you are interested. All of my bags are $30 and I pay the postage in the United States. So it's flat $30, no more. I prefer on PayPal to do the family thing so that there's not a fee. But if you're uncomfortable with that, then we'll talk about that in email. I know that some people are, and I've done it the other way, invoiced the other way so that you all have a little bit more control. I do get a tracking number on all of mine, which I can send to you. I've numbered these, and I've put the size because they are all different sizes. I make absolutely crazy sizes sometimes, but it's the fabric that I have, and I try to use all of it. I don't like leaving scraps, big scraps anyway. So this is number 1. This one is a 12 by 12. It has a little cross for the zipper pull. This is number 2. It's 12 1/4 by 13 1/4, so it's a little larger, and it has this little charm as a zipper pull. Number 3 is 12 1/4 by 12 3/4, and I add a little lace to this one. And I have 3 in this same fabric, a little bit different sizes, but very, very minor changes. 13 3/4 square. That's number 4. And number 5 is 14 by 13 3/4. Number 6, 14 by 13 1/2. I have 3 of those, and they're all very close in size, y'all. I'm not going to read those off, but they're like within 1/4 or 1/2 inch of each other. Sometimes it's the way I make the seams, which happen to be crooked, and I have to trim them down. There are 4 of these. Now, if you're ready for a winter project, I have snowflakes, 13 by 13 1/2 with a little jingle bell on it. And I have 3 of those, a little bit different sizes again. But all very, very similar. I have one with Santa Claus on him, and I'm going to point out I normally have my things unzipped from the left to the right, but on 2 of these I went temporarily crazy and did it the other way. So if you're a left-handed stitcher, maybe you'd like it better this way. This is my one Santa Claus, and he's 12 1/2 by 12 3/4. And then Christmas, I have 4 more Christmas ones, 4 or 5 more Christmas ones. Trucks with Christmas trees, a little jingle bell, 12 1/4 by 13 if you're ready for Christmas. And I had a little extra fabric, so I made a smaller one. This one's 11 1/4 square, I believe. And then another small one, 11 by 11 1/2 of mittens for winter or Christmas. Snowflakes on them. And number 17 is a little bit bigger version of that one, 13 1/4 square. And y'all, the only way I know to do that is just whoever emails me first, and that may not be the fairest way, but it's the only way I can keep up with it because I can see the date and time stamp on those. So if you would, if you're interested in any of those, please tell me the number so that I can be sure you're getting the one that you want, and I will email you back as quickly as possible, and we'll take care of the details of that. So, and I thank each one of you who buys one from me. I've had such good luck selling these bags. McKenna calls them Marlene bags, but it really is helpful to me because I just buy patterns and fabric with all the money that I make. Not that I make a whole lot on each one, I want y'all to know, because by the time you buy the fabric and the thread and the zippers and the ribbon and pay the postage, you cut you back a little bit. So, but that's okay. I love doing it. It's just fun for me. It's relaxing. I'm using a lot of fabric that I already had, some that I just fall in love with when I walk through Joann's. I try to put blinders on. Do y'all do that? Doesn't do any good. I just kind of sniff it out, I think. I don't know. Maybe I have eyes in the back of my head. My kids always accuse me of that. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great week. I plan to be at home all week. I'm hoping for that anyway. And if I get my sewing machine back this afternoon, I've got a couple more things I want to finish. So I'll be working on those, and then I'm going back to stitch on And Heaven and Nature Sings. Okay, I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.